So let's talk about formaldehyde. So who discovered formaldehyde? Alexander Butlerov during the synthesization of methylene glycol, and August Wilhelm von Hofmann, who fully identified formaldehyde through his research. Formaldehyde is also known as formalin. Many of you may have been introduced to the aqueous solution of formaldehyde, which is formalin, in science class. When I was in middle school, we dissected a frog, which was in a solution of formalin. My first encounter with formaldehyde was when I felt a little splash of it on my cheek as I was dissecting a frog. I grossed out feeling that solution. Little did I know that at the age of 20, I would encounter it in its gaseous form in a mobile home. So I pretty much felt like Marie Curie, the French scientist who died from long-term exposure to radiation of radium, which is a highly reactive metal. I, on the other hand, was exposed to high levels of formaldehyde in a mobile home, and I pretty much died from it and came back to talk about it. So how can I detect formaldehyde? So I'm the best guinea pig for that because I was exposed to high levels of formaldehyde gas in a mobile home for 3 months. And first of all, it has a foul, irritating odor. So that odor is best compared to someone opening up a container of nail polish. And nail polish that has formaldehyde has a pungent smell. And also it causes burning sensations in the nose, throat, and eyes. And the best way to detect that is when going into a building with high levels of formaldehyde gas and coming out after some time, you have to squeeze your nose like this with your fingers and you'll feel a burning sensation in your nose, much like that little guy on the slide. Another property of formaldehyde is its stiffening properties. So nail polish that has formaldehyde will keep your nails stiff for a very long time. I've tried nail polish that doesn't have it, and it doesn't last for a very long time than the one that does have it. So where's formaldehyde found? It's found in so many places, and I'm only going to cover a few of them. It can be found when dissecting a specimen like this, as a preservative. And like I referenced earlier, I felt a splash of that stuff on my cheek and I grossed out when I was dissecting that frog in middle school. Also nail polish that I referenced earlier that has a formaldehyde. It has a pungent smell and it will keep your nails stiff for a very long time. Also, something else that has formaldehyde is embalming fluid. Now, embalming fluid will stiffen up a corpse. Building materials, such as those used in buildings, homes, manufactured homes, glues and adhesives, paints, backing of carpet, pressed wood products, they all have formaldehyde. Something else that has formaldehyde is foamed insulation that off-gases formaldehyde. Also, another thing that has formaldehyde is older color film, preserved film from deteriorating, not typically used in modern color film. Something else that has formaldehyde is clothing. Now, clothing, even after washing it so many times, it will still have formaldehyde. Also, another thing that has formaldehyde is plastic, small traces in plastic bottled water. Now, why is that? Not that plastic bottles have formaldehyde, but plastic bottles are made of PET or PTE, which is polyethylene terephthalate. And what happens is, depending on the conditions that these plastic bottles are in, like high heat, let's say, that will cause it to have traces of formaldehyde in that water. Fruits and vegetables have low amounts of formaldehyde naturally, and it's also found in your very own gut, naturally formed. Now, low levels of formaldehyde or small traces of formaldehyde are not a cause for concern. The concern is when you're exposed to high levels of it or high traces of that substance. That's when you had to start worrying. Now, is formaldehyde a carcinogen? Yes, it is a carcinogen. meaning it's a cancer-causing agent. There have been studies done on rats where formaldehyde has been linked to nasopharyngeal cancer. And like that poster says, wanted formaldehyde, dead or derived. Other names, formol, which is the Spanish name, methylaldehyde, methylene oxide, methanol, methylene glycol. It's a colorless gas. It's flammable. Use extreme caution. If encountered near a flame, run away. It causes burns. It's very toxic by inhalation, and I'm testament to that because I was exposed to it for 3 months. Ingestion and through skin absorption. Probable human carcinogen. Mutagen. May cause damage to kidneys, may cause allergen reactions, may cause sensitization, and may cause heritable genetic damage. And this is a good time to drink some water. Different agencies, such as the Environmental Protection Agency, have classified it as a carcinogen. So what can we do if we think we have been exposed to formaldehyde? We can have that building or home tested by an environmental firm, and that's formaldehyde in a nutshell.